Aria Thompson had always believed in the power of love to transform lives. At 25, she was thriving in the bustling heart of New York City, where skyscrapers pierced the sky like ambitious dreams. She worked as a marketing coordinator for a mid-sized tech firm, her days filled with creative campaigns and late-night brainstorming sessions. But her true anchor was Ethan, her boyfriend of 2 years. They had met at a coffee shop in Brooklyn, where he spilled his latte on her laptop, leading to an awkward apology that blossomed into something beautiful. Ethan was a dreamer, an aspiring entrepreneur from a humble background in rural Pennsylvania. He had moved to the city with nothing but a backpack and a business idea, a sustainable clothing line made from recycled materials. Aria admired his passion. It mirrored her own drive. Their relationship was healthy, built on mutual respect, open communication, and shared adventures. Weekends were spent exploring hidden gems in the city, picnics in Central Park, jazz nights in Harlem, or simply curling up with takeout and Netflix. Ethan made her feel seen, valued, and alive. "I can't imagine my life without you," Ethan would whisper during their quiet moments, his fingers tracing patterns on her back. Aria would smile, her heart swelling with certainty. She had grown up in a stable but emotionally distant family in suburban Chicago. Her parents, both accountants, prioritized logic over feelings, leaving Aria craving deeper connections. Ethan filled that void effortlessly. Enter Leela, Aria's best friend since college. Leela was the free spirit to Aria's grounded nature, adventurous, charismatic, with a laugh that could light up a room. They had bonded over late-night study sessions and dreams of traveling the world. But life had pulled them apart. Leela had moved to Toronto for a graphic design job 2 years ago, just as Aria and Ethan's romance was igniting. They stayed in touch through video calls and memes, but distance had created a subtle rift. One crisp autumn evening, Aria's phone buzzed with excitement. "I'm coming back to NYC! Job transfer! Can't wait to hug you," Leela's message read. Aria squealed, immediately planning a welcome back party. Ethan was thrilled too. He had heard endless stories about Leela's escapades. "She sounds like a force of nature," he said with a grin. The reunion at JFK Airport was emotional. Leela emerged from the crowd, her curly hair wild and her suitcase overflowing with Canadian souvenirs. "Aria, my soul sister!" she cried, enveloping Aria in a bear hug. Ethan stood nearby, holding a sign that read, "Welcome home, Leela," in makeshift glitter. Over the next few weeks, the trio became inseparable. Leela crashed on Aria's couch while apartment hunting, and their days blurred into laughter-filled outings. Ethan and Leela bonded over shared interests in eco-friendly design. She even offered to help with his clothing prototypes. Aria watched them with joy, feeling like her world was complete. But subtle shifts began to emerge. One night at a rooftop bar, Leela leaned in close to Ethan, her hand lingering on his arm as she complimented his vision. "You're going places, Ethan. Aria's lucky to have you." Ethan blushed, glancing at Aria with a sheepish smile. Aria brushed it off as friendly banter, but a tiny seed of unease planted itself in her chest. As winter approached, Ethan's business hit roadblocks. Suppliers backed out and funding was scarce. "I don't know if I can keep this going," he confessed to Aria one evening, his head in his hands. Without hesitation, Aria dipped into her savings. "Take what you need. We're in this together." She transferred $5,000, watching his face light up with gratitude. Leela, now settled in a cozy studio in Queens, joined their efforts. She designed logos and mocked up website layouts. "This is going to be huge," she enthused. But during a late-night work session at Aria's apartment, while Aria stepped out for coffee, she returned to find Leela and Ethan huddled over sketches, their laughter intimate and exclusive. Ethan pulled away quickly, but Leela's eyes sparkled with something unspoken. Aria pushed the doubt away, focusing on the positives. Her promotion at work came through, and she celebrated by treating everyone to dinner. Yet, as the night wore on, she noticed Ethan's phone buzzing repeatedly, messages from Leela. "Just business stuff," he said dismissively. The turning point came during a weekend getaway to the Catskills. Snow blanketed the landscape, turning it into a winter wonderland. They rented a cabin, planning hikes and hot cocoa by the fire. On the first night, Aria awoke to whispers outside. Peering through the window, she saw Ethan and Leela by the porch, their heads close, steam from their breaths mingling in the cold air. Leela's hand rested on his chest, and Ethan didn't pull away. Heart pounding, Aria retreated to bed, feigning sleep when they returned. The next morning, everything seemed normal: pancakes, laughter, snowball fights. But the image haunted her. Was it innocence or something more? As they drove back to the city, Ethan's phone lit up again. This time, Aria glimpsed the screen, a heart emoji from Leela. "What's that about?" she asked casually. "Just a thank you for the trip," he replied, too quickly. Aria nodded, but inside, turmoil brewed. Little did she know, this was only the beginning of a betrayal that would shatter her world and force her to rebuild from the ashes.
Distant stars as Aria navigated the crowded streets of Manhattan, her mind a whirlwind of confusion. Weeks had passed since the Catskills trip, and the unease from that night lingered like a shadow. Ethan seemed more distant, buried in his business plans, while Lila's presence in their lives grew stronger. Aria tried to rationalize it. After all, Lila was helping Ethan for free, and their friendship was long-standing, but doubts gnawed at her. At work, Aria threw herself into projects, earning praise from her boss for a successful ad campaign. "You're a star, Aria," he said during a team meeting. She smiled, but the compliment felt hollow without Ethan's enthusiasm to share it with. Evenings at home were strained. Ethan often worked late, claiming investor meetings. When he was around, conversations felt forced, punctuated by silences. One afternoon, Lila invited Aria for coffee at a trendy cafe in Soho. "I've missed our girl time," Lila said, sipping her latte. They chatted about old memories, college parties, failed diets, heartbreaks. But when the topic shifted to Ethan, Lila's tone changed. "He's really talented, isn't he? I mean, with the right push, his brand could explode." Aria nodded. "Yeah, I've been supporting him a lot. Even gave him more money last week, another $3,000 from my savings." Lila's eyes widened. "That's generous, but be careful. Business can be risky." The warning struck Aria as odd, but she dismissed it. Later that evening, she surprised Ethan at his makeshift office in a shared workspace. He wasn't alone. Lila was there, leaning over his shoulder at the computer. They jumped apart when Aria entered. "Hey, babe, what are you doing here?" Ethan asked, his voice a pitch too high. "Just wanted to bring you dinner," Aria replied, holding up takeout bags. Lila excused herself quickly, muttering about a deadline. That night, Aria confronted Ethan. "Is something going on with you and Lila?" He laughed it off. "You're paranoid. She's just a friend helping out." But the seed of doubt sprouted. Aria started noticing patterns, matching outfits at group hangouts, inside jokes that excluded her, late-night texts. She confided in her colleague Sarah over lunch. "Am I overthinking this?" Sarah frowned. "Trust your gut, Aria. Sometimes the signs are there." Desperate for clarity, Aria accessed Ethan's business accounts, ones she had helped set up. Scrolling through transactions, her heart sank. Amid supplier payments were transfers to Lila's name, labeled consulting fees. Thousands of dollars, including money Aria had given him. Confrontation brewed, but Aria held back, gathering evidence. Meanwhile, her own life flourished. She enrolled in an online course for advanced marketing, dreaming of starting her own consultancy one day. Her mother, Elena, called from Chicago. "How's everything, sweetie? You sound tired." Aria hesitated, but shared snippets. "Just work stress, Mom." Elena's voice softened. "Remember, you're strong. Don't lose yourself in anyone." The advice echoed as Aria attended a networking event alone Ethan had canceled last minute. There, she met Jordan, a charismatic investor interested in sustainable brands. "Tell me about your boyfriend's line," he said. As she spoke, pride swelled, but so did resentment. Why was she promoting Ethan while he drifted? Back home, Ethan was packing. "Quick trip to Philly for a supplier meet," he explained. Aria nodded, but after he left, she found a receipt in his jacket for a romantic dinner for two, dated the night he claimed to be working late. Rage simmered, but she waited. The next day, Lila called, sounding frantic. "Aria, I need to talk. It's about Ethan." They met on a park bench overlooking the Hudson. Lila's eyes were red-rimmed. "I didn't mean for this to happen, but Ethan and I have feelings for each other." The world tilted. Aria's breath caught. "What?" Lila continued, tears flowing. "It started innocently, but he's leaving you for me." Betrayal hit like a tidal wave. Aria stood, numb, as Lila begged for forgiveness. Walking away, she realized the depth of the deception. But as she reached her apartment, a mysterious envelope waited under her door, unsigned, containing photos of Ethan and Lila in intimate embraces, time-stamped months ago. Who sent this, and what else were they hiding?
Shock coursed through Aria as she stared at the photos, her hands trembling. The images captured stolen moments, Ethan and Leela kissing in a dimly lit bar, walking hand in hand through Central Park, even at the Catskills cabin while Aria slept inside. The timestamps revealed the affair had begun shortly after Leela's return, months of lies. Aria collapsed onto her couch, tears streaming. How had she been so blind? Ethan's poverty-stricken background flashed in her mind. She had given him over $10,000 now, including funds siphoned from her mother's emergency savings. Elena had trusted Aria with access during a family crisis, and Aria had borrowed without asking, convinced Ethan would repay. The envelope bore no postmark, suggesting hand delivery. Paranoia set in. Who knew? A mutual friend? A jealous rival? She confronted Ethan via text. "Come home, now." He arrived pale, guilt etched on his face. "Aria, save it," she snapped, thrusting the photos at him. "How long?" Ethan slumped. "It just happened. Leela understands my struggles in ways you don't." "Understands? I funded your dreams," Aria yelled. "I stole from my mom for you." He winced. "I'll pay you back, but we're over. I love her." The words shattered her. Ethan packed his things, leaving with a mumbled apology. Leela texted later, "I'm sorry, it wasn't planned." Aria blocked them both, curling into a ball. The apartment felt empty, echoes of laughter now mocking her. The next day, reality hit. Bills piled up, her savings depleted. At work, she faked smiles, but focus waned. Sarah noticed, "Take time off, heal." Aria refused, channeling pain into productivity. She pitched a bold campaign, securing a major client. Praise flowed, but inside, emptiness reigned. Elena called again. "Something's wrong. Tell me." Aria broke down, confessing everything, the affair, the money. Elena was furious but compassionate. "Come home if you need to." Aria declined. "I have to face this alone." But isolation deepened. Friends sided with the new couple. Invitations dried up. Social media showed Ethan and Leela thriving, his business launching with Leela's designs. Desperation led Aria to check her bank statements. More unauthorized transfers to Ethan's account, then to Leela's. Forgery? She reported it to the police, but evidence was thin. A week later, an anonymous call came. They planned it. Check Ethan's old emails. Hacking? No, the voice was familiar. Jordan from the networking event? He had mentioned tech skills. Aria hesitated but accessed an old shared drive. Buried files revealed emails. Ethan and Leela plotting from day one of her return. "She'll fund us, then we ditch her." Fury ignited, but as she plotted revenge, a knock sounded. Opening the door, she faced a stranger, a private investigator. "I hired someone to watch them. You need to see this." What damning secret did he hold? The private investigator, a grizzled man named Marcus, stepped inside, his trench coat dripping from the rain outside. "A concerned party sent me," he said gruffly. "They want you to know the full truth." Aria's pulse raced. "Who?" "Anonymous for now, but look at this." He handed her a folder filled with documents, bank records, emails, even surveillance photos showing Ethan and Lila meeting shady investors, people linked to fraudulent schemes. It wasn't just an affair, Marcus explained. Ethan's business is a front. He's laundering money, using your funds to kickstart it. Lila's in on it. Her design job in Canada was a cover for similar scams. Aria's world spun. She had funded a criminal enterprise? Guilt crashed over her, especially for stealing from Elena. "I need proof," she whispered. Marcus nodded. "I'll get more, but stay low. They're dangerous." As he left, Aria fortified herself. She quit social media, changed locks, and focused on work. Her campaign's success led to a raise, allowing her to repay Elena partially. "I'm sorry, Mom," she said during a tearful call. Elena arrived unannounced, bags in hand. "You're not alone, Aria. We'll fix this." Together, they navigated the chaos. Elena helped with finances, while Aria sought therapy, learning to rebuild self-worth. "You relied too much on him," Elena advised. "Independence is key." Inspired, Aria started a side hustle, a blog on women's empowerment, sharing anonymized stories of betrayal and recovery. It gained traction, connecting her with supportive women. But threats emerged, harassing calls from unknown numbers, a slashed tire on her car. Was it Ethan? Marcus updated her. "They're expanding the scam, targeting more women like you, charming, funding, dumping." Aria decided to fight back. She contacted authorities with evidence, but bureaucracy slowed progress. One night, alone in her apartment, a brick shattered her window, attached note reading, "Stop digging or else." Terror gripped her. Elena urged her to move home, but Aria refused. "I won't run." The next day, she met Jordan for coffee. He admitted sending Marcus. "I saw Ethan's pitch. It screamed fraud, wanted to help." Grateful, Aria allied with him. Together, they uncovered more: Lila's criminal record in Canada for embezzlement. As Aria prepared to expose them publicly via her blog, a chilling email arrived. "We know where your mother lives." How far would they go to silence her? Fear became Aria's constant companion after the threatening email. She installed security cameras and alerted the police, but they dismissed it as a prank without concrete ties to Ethan and Lila. Elena, back in Chicago, was safe but worried. "Come here, please," she pleaded. Aria wavered but stood firm. "I have to end this, Mom, for us." Her blog exploded in popularity, with readers sharing similar tales of deception. It became a community, empowering women to spot red flags in relationships. Aria's posts emphasize self-reliance. Don't build your world around someone else. Build it for yourself. At work, she excelled, leading a team on a global campaign. Colleagues admired her poise amid whispers of her breakup. "You're inspiring," Sarah said. Jordan became a confidant, their meetings blending strategy and subtle chemistry. "You're stronger than you know," he told her one evening over wine. But romance was off the table. Aria focused on healing. Marcus delivered bombshell evidence, recorded conversations of Ethan and Lila admitting to the scam. "This could put them away," he said. Aria handed it to the FBI, who took interest. "We'll investigate," an agent assured. Relief was short-lived. Lila confronted Aria at her office lobby. "Stay out of our lives," she hissed, "or you'll regret it." Aria held her ground. "It's over, Lila. The truth is coming out." Lila smirked. "You think you know everything. There's more to this." What did she mean? That night, Aria received another anonymous package, documents showing her own unwitting involvement, signatures forged on business papers. Panic set in. Was she implicated? Jordan reviewed them. "Fakes, but convincing. They're framing you." Aria went underground, staying with Sarah while plotting her next move. She expanded her blog into podcasts, interviewing survivors. One guest, a former associate of Ethan's, revealed he's not just scamming women, there's an international ring. The scope widened. Aria collaborated with journalists, building a case. As the FBI raid loomed, Ethan called. "Let's talk. I can explain." Against advice, Aria met him in a public park. He looked haggard. "I never meant to hurt you. Lila pushed me into it." "Lies," Aria said. "You're done." He leaned in. "If I go down, you do too. I have proof you stole from your mom." Blackmail? Aria recorded it secretly. Walking away, she felt empowered, but as she turned a corner, a van screeched nearby. Someone watching? Who was the real mastermind behind it all? The encounter with Ethan left Aria rattled but resolute. She shared the recording with the FBI, accelerating their investigation. "This is gold," the agent said. "We're moving in." Meanwhile, Aria's life transformed. Her blog evolved into a full-fledged platform, Empower Her, with sponsorships and a growing team. She spoke at conferences advocating for financial independence among women. "Rely on yourself first," she preached. "Love enhances but doesn't define." Elena visited often, proud of her daughter's growth. "You've turned pain into purpose." Jordan confessed feelings, but Aria gently declined. "I'm not ready, but thank you for being a friend." As arrests neared, tension mounted. Leela vanished, rumors of her fleeing to Canada. Ethan went silent. Marcus uncovered the twist. Leela wasn't just a partner, she was the ringleader. Her return was calculated to target Aria's resources through Ethan. Aria's platform exposed similar stories globally, creating a network of support. One evening, a tip came. Leela spotted in Miami. Aria informed authorities. But danger escalated. Her apartment was burgled, laptop stolen containing sensitive files. Paranoia peaked. Was it an inside job? Jordan helped recover data via backups. "We're close," he assured. The breakthrough. FBI raided Ethan's office, arresting him. Evidence piled up, scams totaling millions. Leela was captured at the border. Interrogations revealed the full scheme, targeting vulnerable women in relationships, draining funds, moving on. Aria testified anonymously, her voice steady. Justice felt cathartic. Post-trial, she reflected on her journey from betrayal to empowerment. But a final envelope arrived. "It's not over. There's a bigger player." Who? A shadowy figure in the background photos, someone familiar. As Aria dug deeper, she realized the ultimate betrayal might trace back to her own past. Closure seemed within reach after the arrests, but the enigmatic envelope shattered Aria's peace. The note inside read, "The puppet master pulls strings you can't see." Attached was a photo of a man in the shadows during one of Ethan and Leela's meetings, her estranged uncle Victor, whom she hadn't seen since childhood. Victor had been disowned by the family for fraudulent dealings. Could he be the architect? Aria delved into research, uncovering Victor's ties to international scams. He had mentored Leela in Canada, using her to infiltrate Aria's life, revenge for old family grudges. With Jordan and Marcus, she built a dossier. "He's the head," Marcus confirmed. Confronting Victor in Chicago with Elena by her side, Aria demanded answers. "Why me?" Victor sneered. "Your family ruined me. This was payback." But evidence mounted against him. Aria turned it over to authorities, leading to his arrest. Free at last, Aria fully embraced her independence. Empower Her became a nonprofit, helping women rebuild after betrayal. She traveled, spoke, and even started dating casually, on her terms. Elena's support was unwavering. "You survived because you're you." Reflecting on her story, Aria wrote a memoir inspiring countless girls to prioritize self-reliance over dependency. Yet, as she stood on a New York rooftop watching the sunrise, a final text buzzed. "Well done, but watch your back. There are always more shadows." Was it a threat or a warning? Aria smiled, ready for whatever came. Her strength was unbreakable.